Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on another one of our videos. If you enjoy this video or find it helpful, do us a big favor and hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new to our channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our weekly content. Okay guys, so this video is real important and very tedious, so we're going to jump right into it. You guys might remember Snowball. We featured her in a past video called Nervous Maltese, and she is just that, guys. Snowball is a very nervous dog. She's so nervous and excitable that she ended up tearing her ACL and had to have surgery, guys, and that is the reason why she is so overgrown and matted in this video. So there's no neglect here. She just hasn't been able to be groomed because of her surgery and her torn ACL, and she's with us here and we're going to fix the problem. We're going to get her groomed, and as we've said in the past, we're seeing more and more torn ACLs because of hardwood floors and tile. People really don't have much carpet in their homes anymore, and again, we're seeing more and more torn ACLs, especially if your dog is very excitable, as Snowball is. Alright guys, so we're finding our starting spot here, so right behind her shoulders. I'm using a 7F and we're just getting it going. Working down her back. Snowball has a very cottony undercoat, guys, so there's like a lot of static going on in this groom. I'm really just trying to find some clearance and trying to get that 7F blade underneath the mats the best I can. I'm supporting her. I'm being really careful. The last thing I want to do is re-injure her ACL in any way. You can see how matted she is here. You know, a dog's really matted when knots come off in one solid piece like that. That was all one solid piece there. Just working out the mats in her hock, her butt here. Always remember to spray down your blades, guys, in a job like this, because the blades do get hot. You'll find that when you do spray the blades down, it goes through the coat a lot easier. Again, I'm using a 7F blade in this groom. If you're not comfortable using a 7F blade, guys, you can use an 8.5. Even in more severe cases, you might resort to your 10 blade with a severe shave down, but the 7F blade seems to be working, so I'm going with that in this groom. Keeping in mind, guys, Snowball's been through a lot in the past 6 weeks. She had this ACL surgery, so she's still very nervous. She's a nervous dog to begin with. So again, guys, patience is going to be key here. Here's a real sensitive area right here in the tuck-up area. Want to be real careful with that. Don't press your 7F blade against that at all. We'll do that later with a 10 blade. I'm just clearing up my space here. We did all of that within the first 10 minutes. I'm moving to the front of her, at her shoulders. Down her front legs a little. This here is where her IV was, guys. She has a couple of IV spots. They seem to swell up a little bit and scab over, so we're trying to be really, really careful with that. She's very, very sensitive around this area, so we're just going to work around it. Here's another IV. If you guys are seeing more ACL problems where you guys are at, let us know in the comments. We're curious because, again, we're just seeing more and more dogs coming in with torn ACLs. But if you guys are seeing that, let us know that. I'm just working behind her neck now. At this point, we're going to switch over to a 10 blade, this ceramic 10 blade. And again, just a safer blade. We're working behind the ears now. You definitely don't want to do this area with a 7F blade. So again, we're going with the safer blade, the 10 blade, and we're just going to do this as slowly and methodically as we can. Notice how I'm just doing little taps, not trying to get the mat out all in one shot. I decided to clear out her eyes real quick so that she could just see, relieve her of that stress. And again, we're going back to the back of her ears here. Remember to spray your blade down often when you're working this area, guys, because again, it takes time. That blade is getting hot. I'm almost to the point where I can get this mat out, but again, I'm just doing it in slow intervals so that we're not hurting her or nicking her in any way. See this one here, I worked on it and now I'm just going to finish it up. Kind of just trying to shape her up with my 10 blade. Just getting the insides of the ears now with the 10 blade. Some of those mats were right up to her face area too, guys, so it's hard to see in the video, but her whole section behind her ears and her face were matted. I'm giving her a little break here. If you guys are doing matted dogs like this, it's a lot to be expected of the dog. So my suggestion is definitely give them a brief little break in between and just reassure them. Snowball's going through a lot. We really love this dog. She's an angel. I feel terrible that she even had to go through any of this with her ACL. But again, just give them a quick little break. So after about a 10-minute break, we decided to start her up again, just working on her rear here. I'm still using a 10 blade on this. You don't really want to go at this with a 7F. Again, just safety. Her entire tail was pretty much matted, so we had to shave most of it. I was able to leave a little bit on the end, giving her a little bit of a lion tail there, but yeah, we just had to take down pretty much the entire tail. I'm trying to get her belly area here, guys. Again, I'm trying to be very, very careful, not putting too much pressure on her leg that had surgery. So I'm trying to make it very brief and just get the mats out and get that leg back on the table. I don't want to hold her leg up too long. This is one of the main culprits of why we're seeing so many torn ACLs. Right here, guys, is the pads. If you do have hardwood floors and the pads are full of hair, it's just going to cause your dogs to slip and slide all over the place and injure themselves. So we're making sure that we clip pads. If you're interested in a more in-depth video, we have a bunch of videos on how to clip pads. She decided to sit down, so I grabbed the opportunity here to grab some of that hair that was on her belly. This way I could access it without having to make her stand any more than she had to. Just doing her armpits here. All 10 blade, guys. All 10 blade on this. Started working on her head. I'm using a 1.5 snap-on comb here. I'm using a wall snap-on comb, 1.5, and again, I'm just trying to shape her up a little bit. All of this is being done prior to the bath. I switched over to a 2 snap-on comb, just so that I can kind of get through her face. Snowball does not like her face being messed with too much, guys, so I'm trying to do as much clipper work as I can just to save some scissoring time. She does not really like her face being scissored too much or her face being handled, so the more clipper work I can achieve, the better, because it will just save time later and it'll definitely save some scissoring time. You can even use it to take off some bangs. Again, it's a little bit safer than having the scissors be around the eyes. Skimming off of her ears. When you're dealing with shave downs, the pressure's kind of off. You don't have to necessarily make the dogs come out so great because they're shave downs anyway, but we are doing our best to maybe give her a cute look in the end. I'm just brushing out her ears and getting any excess knots out. So this is what we achieved prior to the bath, and she's starting to feel a lot better already. Once you've achieved the initial cut down, you're pretty much about 75% done. Most of the work is in the initial shave down prior to the bath. It's a lot easier after all that hair is off. And I can feel right here her ACL surgery. I can actually feel the bone. So again, Snowball went through a lot. Like I said, now this is much easier. The fur is clean, so that blade's gonna glide through the coat so much easier, and we don't have to be as careful now because now we can see what we're doing. So now we can really kind of just fly with this and get this grooming done. Snowball even can sense that she's a little bit closer to being finished, so she's standing really nice now, and the pressure is off of her as well. You'd be surprised how much a dog calms down once you get most of the grooming done. They can sense themselves being finished. They know the deal. Snowball's been coming to us for a very, very long time, so she knows exactly when she's almost done. I'm still trying to be very, very careful with that leg. I'm really buffering the clippers on her. What I mean by that is I'm not pressing so hard. I'm really just using my arm to kind of glide the clipper over without putting too much pressure on that area. Just working her front legs again. Again, I'm trying to do as much clipper work as I can without lifting any of her legs. I'm only lifting them when I absolutely have to. If you notice their feet now, I have to just kind of lift the leg real quick and try to get it right back onto the grooming table so that there's no, or at least there's minimal pressure on the leg that had surgery. Again, being really, really careful where the IVs were. She's very sensitive because it does seem to hurt her a little bit, so that's why she's pulling away so much. Basically, we're just really going over what we did before, but again, it's going to be just a lot less work. We don't have to worry about getting mats out, so now we can just give her a normal haircut. So much pressure is off at this point. Again, I'm just trying to shape her up a little bit with the clippers. You can see Snowball just does not like her face being handled too much, so I do as much clipper work as I can. Again, I'm just gliding the clippers. Just going over under the eyes with the 10 blade again. And getting out any hair I couldn't get out before. Going over the insides of the ears again. So I put the 2 snap-on comb on again, and I'm just going over her head. Again, just shaping her up with the clipper and the snap-on comb. You'd be surprised what you can do with the clipper. You can virtually almost get a finished job with the clippers alone. If you guys are doing this stuff at home, be surprised at how much you can achieve just by practicing a little bit on your own dog. Alright, so now we're just going to do a little bit of scissor work on her, just to tidy her up a little bit. We really want to just try to sum up this grooming for her because she is getting tired. She's been on the table for about 2 hours here, guys. Just trimming her face up a little bit. Underneath her chin. Just going to trim up her ears real quick. We're just giving her really short ears, guys, so it just matches the whole grooming. Her tail is really short, her body's really short. We just figured we'll just shorten up those ears and let everything grow in at the same time. There's your before shot again. And here's your after. Once again, give it up for Snowball. This dog is very, very dear to us, guys. And again, we're just so happy that we could make her feel better. Again, guys, if you enjoyed this video, do us a big favor and hit that like button. And please subscribe if you're new to our channel. And we will see you in the next video.